Hello, Gary Simpson from ZSM009, and today's little talk that I'd like to share with you is entitled For the Love of Money. Now, I'm sure that you've heard people say something like this: oh yeah, money's the root of all evil. Well, guess what? That is one of the greatest misquotes of all time. I'll tell you where that quote comes from. In fact, it comes from this book, the Bible. And you'll find it at 1 Timothy 6:10. Now, I've just happened to mark 1 Timothy 6:10 here, and I've done something naughty. I've written something on my Bible here. Okay? Now look, if you are not a spiritual person or a Christian person, or somebody that is interested in reading this, then I get it. Okay? I haven't read it myself. Right? There you go. And I'm not about to read it from cover to cover, but I have read little bits and pieces. Now let me read to you, word for word, what is said about money at 1 Timothy 6:10. Excuse me. It says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs." The key part of that, when people say money is the root of all evil, that is just not true. The truth is the love of money. When they put money above everything else, that is where the problem comes. So, like I said, I've quoted directly from the good book, as they call it. Now, let me share with you something that was written many years ago by a man called Wallace D. Wattles. Now, Wallace D. Wattles was the author of this, which you can download this from the internet, as I have. I've just put a bit of a cover on it, and what have you. Wallace Wattles was one of the first inspirational self-help authors of all time. Now, he lived from 1860 to 1911, and he wrote this in 1910, just 1 year before his death. I'll talk a little bit more about Wallace Wattles in a moment, but this is what he said: "Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. You cannot rise to your greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless you have plenty of money." Okay, you may or may not agree with that. The fact remains, of course, that if you are a good person, money exemplifies the good in you. If you are a mean-spirited and bad person, money magnifies that as well. So for people who think that having money is evil and they push it away from themselves, that's not the way to be. If you accumulate a vast amount of money, think of the good that you can do with it. You can give it away if you want. You could help a child who has an illness or a sickness or has been born with a birth defect. You can do so many things, so many good things with money. On the flip side, you can do a lot of bad things with it too. So it's all about the person holding the money, not about the money itself. Money is actually neutral. So the next time you hear somebody say, "The love of money is the root of all evil," refer them to 1 Timothy 6:10 and tell them it's not the money, it's the love of money. Now, I said I'd get back to Mr. Wallace Wattles just briefly. This gentleman, and like I said, you can download this off the internet, it's free, it's freely available off the internet. Wallace Wattles had very little formal schooling or education, and he found himself ostracised from the entire world of commerce and wealth. But he was a very gifted writer, a natural writer, and he was published in almost every issue of a New Thought magazine called Nautilus. And on the day that he died, believe it or not, every business in the town that he lived at shut their doors for 2 hours. And that is a person who had no formal education. So I'm going to review this gentleman at some later date. In fact, I might do it next time we meet. So I just wanted to, as I said briefly, speak about this nonsense that people refer to, that money is the root of all evil. It's quite simply, it's not. I've proven it. It's here. If you want to Google it, just Google 1 Timothy 6:10 and you'll find out how incorrect all the people are who say that. So, that was my point for today. This has been Gary Simpson from Zenith Self Mastery.